The new NBA and MLB season is in full swing, and BetOnline has you covered with the best odds and biggest promotions and live in-game betting on all your favorite teams. Head to BetOnline today to stay updated on all the action. BetOnline, the game starts here.
The days grow shorter and the nights have a chill in the air. Halloween is still a month away, but you don't have to wait until then to see the dead come back to life. Every year, abandoned real estate husks of old gyms, grocery stores, and even Bed Bath & Beyonds rise from the ashes. In their places, you'll find yourself face to face with terrifying animatronics and just about anything you could possibly need for October's scariest night. A pop culture mainstay with annual revenue topping $1 billion. This year they celebrate their 40th anniversary, and that's why this episode of On Brand is on Spirit Halloween.
We're all jazzed up, really having a cow. You want your favorite show, and it's on right now. It's on brand.
Welcome to On Brand with Jon and Marisa.
I'm Jon.
I'm Marisa. And Jon, you're looking particularly sinful today.
Oh, do I? Maybe that's because I just returned from the city of sin, Las Vegas. I went to Las Vegas for one night. I have to say, going to Las Vegas for one night, you do kind of feel like a jet setter. I literally flew into Vegas to see Adele and then flew out the next morning. It's like I know what it's like to be a Kardashian.
Or Adele herself. I'm sure she's flying out
Adele herself.
Same day.
Absolutely. She's apparently only there for the weekends and then is in LA the rest of the time. And this is my second time doing this.
Did you get an Ansel Adams? That's not him.
Dominique Ansel.
Dominique Ansel. Ansel Adams is what? A photographer?
I picked up an original Ansel Adams photograph. That set me back $25,000. Then I put that on the blackjack table.
Bet it all on red. You know, wouldn't it be fun if Ansel Adams took a picture of the Dominique Ansel cronut?
Oh my God, the cronut. So Dominique Ansel is the man who created the cronut.
Talk about a brand.
Talk about a brand. And you're not getting like a knockoff of like, oh, I've heard about the cronut trend. This is the guy. And when you eat it, it feels like this is from the guy. I spent $95.
What?
At Dominique Don't even, I know.
In less than 24 hours?
I was in Las Vegas for 20 minutes and I had dropped $250 simply by stopping by the Adele gift shop and the Dominique Ansel's cronut store.
Okay, I'm going to need to see the receipts. I need to know what you bought.
It's ridiculous. I got a couple things that I had gotten last time that I really enjoyed and I wanted to give him again. I got 2 containers of his almond crunch. It's kind of like peanut brittle, but very thin and made with almonds. Delicious. I got a 3-pack of... What are those things that I love that they have at Proof? Those little cones.
Cannelé.
Cannelé.
A delicious kind of eggy pastry.
2 packs of cookies with 2 cookies in each. A oatmeal blueberry, which I thought was a wonderful substitution for raisins. And a sea salt white chocolate macadamia nut. Delicious. I just was like, I'll take this, and this. He's like, that's $95. And I was literally like, $95? And he was like, is that okay? I was like... Yeah.
I mean, on principle, no, it's not okay. But yes, I will complete the transaction.
Yeah.
What'd you get at the Adele gift shop?
You know, some this and that. She has like...
this and that.
She has a t-shirt. She has night-specific or weekend-specific posters. So I wanted to get the poster. But none of that is the big news of Las Vegas.
Oh. M&M store.
I did not make it down to the M&M store. My usual stops at Las Vegas are White Castle, the M&M store, and the Coca-Cola store. I did make it to, I know, I have, there's nothing else I do there. I don't gamble. I don't get prostitutes. I don't drink. I hit those 3 places and try to get to my hotel room at a sensible hour. Okay. So I do have Vegas news. How did I get Adele to sign my record in the middle of her show?
Oh my God.
How did I get Adele to sign my record?
Poster saying that you're coming out to your parents as gay.
No, that's what Harry Styles does. Adele knows we're all gay. She doesn't need a sign.
It'd be more significant if you were coming out to your parents as straight.
Yes, exactly. Adele, I'm straight and I still like your music.
Okay, how did you do it?
So this is the second time I've gone to see Adele. This is the second time I've taken this exact record to Adele. This record has traveled more than most records and some people. It's gone to Vegas twice. It stayed in pristine condition. I go to the concert. I carry it in an Adele gift shop bag. I bring Sharpies with me. I'm ready to go. I put a Post-it on it that says Jon, so if she wants, she can sign my name. She knows how to spell it. This is what you do when you get it. You make it as easy for the celebrity as possible. I found out before going to the first time that Adele does one song. She does a walkthrough, and she talks and sings and, banters and stuff. Both times I was in the walkthrough zone. The first time I was kind of far in. There was no way for me to do it. It was obvious. She did get close to me on stage, and for a second I was like, do I hold this up while she's on stage? That seemed crazy, so I didn't. So I went with my friend Patrick, who was able to get the tickets. And
was that a factor in where the ticket location was because you were near that walking zone? Was that a factor?
Of getting the ticket?
Yeah.
Her tickets sell so fast, it is just
you don't have a
chance.
choice. You got lucky then.
Talk about Vegas. It is a game of chance getting Adele tickets, period. So for me to go twice and be in that zone twice is incredible. So we get there Friday and we show up and we're walking down to our seats. Our seats are literally on the aisle. Like, she is 100% walking right past me, and wow. I know this. And I'm so nervous. I brought the record again. I literally got a special metallic green Sharpie that matches the font of the thing, tested it twice, brought a second Sharpie just in case. And okay, so at the concert, there's two songs I really want to hear. The first one is called Set Fire to the Rain, and this one's her show just builds and builds and builds, and this is one of the climaxes. In this song, her piano bursts into flames, there's fire all over the stage, it starts raining on stage, it's incredible. And
good news for the local piano seller.
Yeah, she has a new piano every Friday and Saturday night. She has a huge piano budget.
That's the business to be in.
So I normally can get through a show without having to use the restroom. For some reason, I really had to. I went right before, but I had to go to the bathroom.
Big diaper.
And she doesn't. I didn't wear a diaper. I should have. That was one flaw in my plan. So there's a song right before the Fire and Rain song. I didn't remember that it was right before, but there's a song, one instrumental song. And I was like, I'm going to run out to the restroom because other people were. I was like, if she doesn't have any big breaks in the show. So if you're going to go now. So I run out to the restroom. The lady's like, oh, the restroom's right there, but someone's in there. And I was like, someone's in there. Apparently they have, it's not like a restroom where there's 10 urinals. You have to wait.
It's a single toilet?
Yeah, it's a single toilet. And she's like, there's another one, but it's all the way down on the other side. And I was like, she's like, but you don't want to miss the next song. I'm like, what's happening? I just have to pee.
Nowhere in Vegas has a single every bathroom I've ever been to in Vegas, it's 200 stalls. They don't even have doors to go in.
I guarantee.
It's like walking to a Costco full of toilets.
I guarantee on Thursday, that venue had 50 toilets. On Saturday, it had 50 toilets. If I'm there, all of a sudden there's one toilet.
Maybe there was a celebrity using the pot.
Maybe.
Beyonce was taking a big dumper. One of her famous
let's
dumpers.
Keep this clean. This is my Adele. Adele's classy. I do think she likes poop jokes. So anyway, I'm like, it. And I ran. I literally ran across the venue to go to that bathroom and pee. While I'm peeing, I hear my song come on, the Fire song. I'm like, the Fire song's starting. And I was peeing. I can't make my pee come out faster. I felt like I was trapped. And I'm just standing there trying to get out. I finished peeing, run outside. I decided just to run into the closest door next to me. There's a usher there. He's like, oh, sorry, the song started. You can't go in. I was like, what? I was like, no, this is the song that I'm here. I'm here to see the song. He's like, sorry, you're not allowed in once the song starts. I was like, are you kidding me? And then now you know me. For the next minute and a half, I have lost my mind. I am running from door to door. I felt like I was in Jurassic Park, like the velociraptor looking for a weakness in the fence. And everyone's like, sorry, you can't go in. It's Adele's orders.
In the Jurassic Park analogy, you're the raptor and not the person looking to escape the dinosaurs?
I don't know, but it makes sense in my head. I'm looking for weaknesses. And I just have a bunch of ushers saying, you can't go in. And I'm like, are you guys kidding me right now? I was like, I spent and I don't want to say how much, but I did. I spent $1,000 on this ticket. For the record, I didn't know I spent $1,000 on this ticket until 3 days before. I thought I spent $700. Patrick didn't tell me about the fees. Patrick, I'm not mad at you now.
$95 worth of cronuts.
But I spent, Vegas sucks. So then I get to the second last door, and the guy's like, sorry, you can't. I get to my door, the door I started at, and the woman's saying there's like 8 or 10 people standing there, all trying to get in. She's saying no. I was like, I spent $1,000 on this. The other usher came over from the second to last door. He's like, everyone did. I was like, that doesn't matter. And then this girl next to me is crying. She's like, we have to get in there. And then I started to cry, but it's kind of like when I can kind of cry, like to get things. And I'm like, you don't understand. And I turned around and put like my hand on the wall. I was like, I'm here to see the song. It was so dramatic.
Oh,
and then I turned
God.
around and he looked at me. He's like, can you be quiet? And I was like, yeah. He's like, if you go in quiet, we'll let you in. And he opened the door and we all just booked it. And the song's halfway done. The stage is already engulfed in flames. I'm just like so beside myself that I missed that moment. So then I stand there, finish that song. It's all great. And then the lights all come on. And I was like, oh, this is the moment where she's going to come through. So,
and you've just been like peeing all over yourself
like,
and crying and sweating. This is an emotional roller coaster.
And up until then, I had such a beautiful time. The concert's so good. It's emotional. She sounds so great. So then when she does her walk, she takes turns. She'll walk up this way, and down this way, or she'll walk up this way, down, and this way. You never know which one you're going to get. On the one that she walks up is when she does the talking. On the other one, she's already singing. So it's harder to get her to do things in the singing thing. You want to catch her on the one where she's talking. So she starts walking down my aisle. And
What's she talking about?
Well, this time, ironically, she's talking about how she feels really bad, but for probably the rest of the show, she's no longer going to do selfies with people during this walk because COVID's on the rise, and she just is trying to protect herself. I knew this coming into it. I knew that she was scared of COVID, as am I. So I was wearing a mask. So she sees the mask. So anyway, she starts walking down, and I'm like ready to go. I've got the record in one hand. I've got the Sharpie. I'm just going to like stand away from it, hold the Sharpie.
You have like extender arms reaching out an extra 4 feet.
It's like 40 feet away from me. And I'm like, I was like, in my head, I honestly was like, I don't think there's any way she couldn't sign. Like, it would feel insane almost if she did.
Did a lot of people have things out for her to sign?
No one had anything. But I've watched videos and there's always a me. There's like one person when you sign my wedding dress. There's always one or two of us that have, gone. And
did the research.
I didn't even tell you this. I'm wearing a Cure shirt because the album I want her to sign is 21. It's one of my favorite albums. On that album, she covers a Cure song. So I'm like, okay, she's going to come down the aisle, see my Cure shirt, and be like, oh, he probably got into me because he liked the Cure and he heard Love Song on 21. Oh, and he's wearing a mask. Of course, I'm going to sign
I like
this.
that you are appealing to Adele with all these subconscious cues.
No idea how much thought I put into this moment. And it worked. So she's walking up the aisle.
Spray yourself with her favorite scent that reminds her of home in jolly old England.
She walks up the aisle. And I see her like far away, see my record, and then she keeps talking about COVID and can't do this and that. And she gets right up to me. She's looking that way, and I'm like, oh my God, if she looks that way, she could just walk past and not. But then she looked over, and I saw her hand going for my marker, and I was like, oh my God, it is happening. So she grabs the marker,
oh my God.
Does her big Adele. Nothing happens. The Sharpie didn't work. I had tested the Sharpie twice that day. I had green Sharpie on my hand from testing it, and I had tested on the box. The Sharpie did nothing. My heart drops. And I'm kidding. I have a picture of it. Adele just looks up at me, and she's like, what am I supposed to do? And I was like, I have a backup Sharpie. And I pulled this, I'm like digging in my pocket. I also have a picture from a stranger of me digging in my pocket, pull out my backup Sharpie, rip it off. She takes it, signs this beautiful autograph.
Wow.
I mean, it's so big. It's so nice.
Wow.
Are you kidding me? It's so lovely. Signs it, goes about her walk. I don't hear the rest of the song. I'm just so like, all these strangers are like talking.
So did you get a video of it from someone else?
I have a full video of it. We'll put on Instagram.
Oh my God, I'm dying
It's
to
from
see
behind,
this.
so you see her.
Yeah.
But I do think I haven't watched it because I'm too embarrassed of it. I was just going to give it to Alistair and he can edit it. But I think I turn and look into the camera. There's pictures. We'll put it all online.
Oh my God, that's so fun.
So that was my Adele moment.
That's amazing.
Yes, I was
That's
very,
so
very
fun.
satisfied. And then all these strangers so excited for you, and people wanted pictures with it. It was like a whole thing. So, yes. Did I end up spending $1,000 to see Adele plus everything else? Yes. But now it all feels kind of worth it.
I love that. I'm so glad you had a happy ending.
Yeah.
And you're not going to see Adele again, are you?
Well.
Can we close the Adele chapter?
I think I couldn't top it. That's the thing. Like nothing will top this. Like, and I was thinking about that because I've also now when I go to concerts become a confetti collector. So I wait around at concerts till a bulk of the people have left, and I go around with my Ziploc bag or my bag from the shop, and I collect all the confettis. Why? I don't know. The moms online make scrapbooks of them or do like shadow boxes. I think we've talked about. I don't know if I'll ever do that. So I had to wait around and collect confetti. So then I'm doing that, and I'm thinking, like, how weird is it that, like, we come here and we watch these shows and we, like, praise these people, and then when they leave, there's, like, 50 of us on our hands and knees literally just collecting their garbage. Like, I'll take anything they leave behind. And at one point, one of the ushers was like, I think you have enough. And I was joking, but I became very Gollum. I was like, it's never enough. I can never have enough. And then they made me leave. And then last night,
joke.
I sorted through my confetti and I got a lot. So there you go. That's Adele. We're done with that chapter.
Beautiful, beautiful ending to a beautiful story.
Hi, this is Chris Howard, host of Plugged In with Chris Howard. BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for all your sports betting action. BetOnline has more ways to stay in on the action with the latest odds, news, scores, even live in-game betting while the games are being played. With the largest selection of odds on everything from Major League Baseball, NHL, and UFC, and professional golf, BetOnline remains the number one source for all your sports wagering info. In between games, head over to the BetOnline's casino with all the top Vegas-style games, including poker and live casino. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Find yourself looking for a new job or change in career? Monster.com is here to help. We are not only here to bring you job postings, but also AI interview prep and salary tools, expert career advice, and top-notch resume services. We've got everything you need to land your perfect job fit. Discover the magic of finding the ideal job with Monster.com. Your future starts now. Visit Monster.com today. Your next job opportunity is just a click away.
If you're looking to streamline your audio advertising buys and maximize your revenue, look no further than Triton Digital's programmatic audio advertising exchange, A2X. The private exchange consists of only licensed broadcasters and top-tier internet radio publishers, assuring the quality inventory and brand safety you can trust. Visit www.tritondigital.com to learn more.
Spirit Halloween.
Spirit Halloween.
Wow,
So you just
I
learned what the
love-
episode is going to be.
I love an old husk of a Toys R Us that's been inhabited by the parasite of Spirit Halloween.
Oh my God, there's so many. I've seen so many articles like that come up with references for it. Like it's Invasion of the Body Snatchers or the
That's
Ghost
cute.
of this or whatever. Yes, they are.
The Toys R Us that usually becomes a Spirit Halloween around here, it was never fully like scrubbed of its Toys R Us. So there's like a real eeriness because there's like aisles that say like action figures, stuffed animal. There's all the like Toys R Us signage and like its imprint is just everywhere. And then it's like the ghouls and the demons. It's very
know.
like Stranger Things takes over a mall.
And a lot of times you'll see, I think even on the one you're talking about, you can see like the sun-burned name of Toys R Us on the store. I think that's why they come around with those big banners and they just slap banners on everything to make it their store.
Yeah, there's actually the one by Costco that I'm talking about. The Toys R Us signage is actually still up there. And like at some point, like the big R fell down and maybe like killed a family. I don't know.
Okay, so I wanted to start this by asking you not like what you feel about Spirit Halloween, but if you had to describe a Spirit Halloween to like an alien, what would you say?
Like in like 5 words?
Like if an alien was like, before I return home, I need to tell my leader what a Spirit Halloween is. Can
Okay.
you help me?
Spirit Halloween is a purveyor of, I would say, disgusting, unnecessary, addictive trash that like you feel compelled to buy. A spell almost comes over you, much like the spell that's cast on All Hallows Eve, that makes you think you need to be somebody who turns your front porch into a ride at Disneyland. That's what happens to me when I get there.
Wow, that was at first when you said purveyors, like, wow, she's really trying to impress the aliens.
Purveyors.
It's like you can just talk normal to the aliens. They're not going to be impressed by your big
this is
words.
their data. This is going in their encyclopedias. I bought a lot of Halloween decorations from Spirit Halloween, and the animatronics are quite ghoulish. They're quite eerie.
Mm-hmm. They're known. I did not know how. They're very well known for their animatronics.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like a whole immersive experience. You have to step on a thing to make them work. There's a million videos of kids doing it and just get like some of them will like jump up and be like 15 feet tall. They're terrifying.
They also cost like $500. So people's Halloween budgets, even in this economy, are through the roof.
Well, it's interesting that you say that because we will go on to learn that Halloween purchases, costumes, decorations, everything is over a $10 billion business at this point. And Spirit Halloween brings in about 10% of that. So that's why they're at,
I'm definitely throwing my cash in that pot.
Yeah, you should go on. You should open a small competitor to Spirit Halloween. Now, whenever I thought of Spirit, I kind of never thought about it. To me, like, I would see those banners come up. I didn't think much about it. I was like, okay, there's a Halloween store. It always seemed... I kind of like that we have cats.
Okay, it's very eerie.
Episode.
Your style of decorating for Halloween is more like a galvanized steel pumpkin from Pottery Barn.
Yeah, I like old school Halloween decorations. I like vintage graphics and stuff like that. I don't know. There was something on the store that felt kind of low rent to me. I have throughout my life had some Halloweens where I get really into it. I've once won an award for a costume that I made. That was for my Mary McCheese. I'll put a picture of that up on Instagram.
I think we talked about that with Mary McCheese. Yeah,
there was years I would either go all out and put so much into it or just didn't care at all. There was at least like 6 years. So I was more of the type of person that would create my own costumes than just go out and buy a costume. Now, when I worked at Avatar, every Halloween, we would decide as a group and do a theme. And one theme, I think the first year I was there that we did, because it was so popular at the time, was Stranger Things. And we all took a trip out to Spirit Halloween for that. And I was going as Barb, if you remember from season 1 of Stranger Things.
We all remember Barb.
She's an iconic Stranger Things character. I will also put a picture of that on Instagram. And they have you can buy like bags that are kind of like the essence of what you need. And they have like categories. There was there was a Stranger Things category. I went and got the Barb bag. But it's not
called, is it called Barb or is it called like Dumpy Friend?
Well, it depends. If it's like licensed, it's just it's like Barb costume. And it came with, I think, the wig and the glasses.
Is that where you got your wig?
That's where I got my wig.
It was from the bag. Okay.
It's not where I got my blouse, and it's not where I got I made like a really fun binder. My blouse, it was so
Perfection.
good. It was so good. I got it at JCPenney. I think it was like a women's XXX. Like it was such a big blouse for it to just fit me kind of normally. But oh my gosh, I was very proud of that costume. And we all looked so good. It was so fun to do that as a group.
Yeah, those bagged costumes, I feel like they never look quite as good as they do on the little cardboard insert. Like they're all like fluffed up on the paper insert. And then when you get it, it's just so like limp, limp polyester.
Yeah.
It just feels like it's going to, you sweat and I feel like it stinks so much, that material that they make costumes out of.
Yeah.
It's really
like
stinky.
Rayon and polyester, like old fabrics that aren't used in...
Because they're like too flammable or something.
Manufactured anymore. Speaking of sweating, I just for this show, I was like, I haven't worn my full body skeleton suit ever, so I'll wear it for this podcast. And I am hot. I don't usually wear long sleeves, but I'm sweating.
Did I tell you the story about when I wore the skeleton costume to a commercial audition?
No.
So I was briefly dipping a toe. I had a bit of the acting bug and dipped my toe into commercial auditioning. And they tell you like what your character is going to be. Like if it's like, oh, you're playing a plumber. So it's like, come in like coveralls or whatever. They'll tell you what kind of act to. And so the audition said, come dressed as a character. I'm so embarrassed by this. Dressed as a character from a horror movie. And so I had the skeleton costume. It's like yours, except it has like kind of 3D bones all over it. And it's made of that like flammable material with a little like tie in the back. So I wore that. I think I even had the mask that had the skeleton head, and I had that like in my bag, and I had a coat on over it, so just the bone legs were peeking out. And then I get there and I realize very quickly that everybody is just dressed normal. Like they're dressed like characters in a horror movie. They're dressed like, oh, I'm like a preppy kid, or I'm like a hot girl.
They weren't talking about like the actual villain.
What was I thinking? I thought I was auditioning to be like a skeleton in a horror movie. So crazy. And I don't even know what the commercial was for. I have no idea what I was thinking. And so I go into the audition now like humiliated, dripping with sweat, beet red. And they're like, okay, say your name. And they're like, and I realize my mistake. And so like in the waiting room, I pull up the bone legs so that they're like hidden by my coat. And I'm fully like in a coat like that goes up to my chin like this. And they're like, okay, say your name. Do you want to take off your coat? And I'm like, no. And as I'm doing my audition, I feel the bone legs, they start to slide down. They're creeping down and the bones are starting to peek out. Fortunately, nobody commented on it. It was also weird that I would have interpreted this role as like show up in a coat and never take it off. Like that's a weird character also. But to me, it was better than like taking the coat off and being like, I came as a skeleton. I don't know. I went out on a limb.
Honestly, I feel like in this town, that could have gotten you the part. Just owning that could have gotten you your part. Was that the last time you ever auditioned for anything?
I think it might have been. I think my ego couldn't have taken any more humiliation. As if this town isn't humiliating enough, I couldn't have subjected myself to any more.
Oh my God. I don't know how I've never heard that story before.
Showing up in a costume when that's not the vibe is like... There's no type of that brand of embarrassment is like nothing else. Wishing you weren't wearing a costume. Oh my God.
I'm picturing me doing that, and because I'm a double Virgo, I have to like be extreme with everything, and I record the sound of like clicking, walking as if I actually am made of bones.
You know, we don't half-ass anything.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was pretty rough. It was pretty rough. So now that I'm seeing your skeleton, it's a bit re-traumatizing me, but I'll be okay. I'll push through.
Well, I'm sorry that you have to look at this the whole time.
So I'm sorry I'm looking at it, and you're sorry you're wearing it. So we're both sorry.
So why don't we get on with the show? Spirit Halloween. So the big question for this story that I think exists is how do you go from like having a shop with a few Halloween items to a company that's celebrating its 40th year? They now have annually 1,500 locations, 40,000 employees, and bring in over $1 billion a year. It's in freaking insane.
Let me guess. A guy named Barry Spirit had always had a love of
Did
Halloween.
you research this? No. But his name is Joseph Marver. And in my head, I like to call him Joseph Marver the Pumpkin Carver because it's Halloween. And I like to give everyone pumpkin names. Remember the guy from Pumpkin Spice Latte? Uh-huh. Peter Dukes, Peter Pumpkin Eater. Uh-huh. So I like to, just...
So we have more of that to look forward to for all of October.
Probably.
Great.
Yeah. Hopefully there'll be names
Joseph
that rhyme.
Marver the Pumpkin Carver.
Joseph Marver the Pumpkin Carver.
Great.
That's what I would call him in meetings. And he'd be like, John, we really got to focus. We've got 2 months to knock it out of the park. All right. So, like all good brands, you've got this person behind the scenes. We've got Joseph Marver. Now, Joseph Marver, I was kind of hoping that he would be like most of our stories where when he was a child, he would go around selling pumpkins out of a
wheelbarrow
wagon.
Pumpkins.
Like, I got a pumpkin for 10 cents, and then now it's $1 billion business. He was a salesman for Revlon. I guess I gave him kind of his salesman chops. Mm-hmm. A passion of his, which I found interesting, was he would go to Goodwill stores and thrift stores hunting for vintage jeans.
Oh.
He would take those jeans and turn them into...
Halloween costumes.
No. Oh. Women's dresses.
Oh.
Ladies' apparel. His first stores that he opened were women's apparel. And interestingly enough, the name of those stores was...
Spirit.
Yeah, Spirit Women's Discount Apparel. So we've got the first seed of where we're going. I looked up the court records for it. It was listed. All the articles I could find on them called it that, but the court records, it was
court
registered.
Records.
I do deep dives.
You're at the microfiche.
I was. I was at the library. That's what I went to Vegas for. I went to the UNLV library for 3 days. Adele was just like a perk. It was listed as the U.S. Jeanery Incorporation,
Ooh.
so he was definitely all about the jeans. Him and his wife opened 3 of these stores. Okay. They're all in on this thing, just turning denim into dresses.
Joseph Marver Denim Carver.
Why don't you leave those names to me? So they're all in on this idea. Well, the stores start to struggle. Okay. So picture this. You've got Joe Marver sitting in his store, his jeanery.
A pile of jeans.
Jeans everywhere. It just smells like old jeans. He's like, what am I going to do? He looks out the window, and across the street, there's a costume shop.
Oh, okay.
Okay. It's fall. Let's say it's about now. It's like a month leading up to Halloween. The line is out the door. This is an aha moment for Joe. He's like, okay, people want Halloween costumes.
He says, I think this Halloween thing is kind of taken off.
I think there's something, and you have to remember, and we can get into the history.
What year is this?
This is like early 80s. This is like 1982. Halloween, it had been celebrated since the
pagan times.
But it didn't really start to pick up until after World War II, and then really kind of pick up in the 80s. Like, I think like the movie Halloween was a big influence. That's what turned Halloween gory. Like before that, it was kind of like your, ghost, witches, traditional things. But Halloween,
little kids sweating under a plastic mask.
Oh my God, we had tons of those plastic suffocating masks.
Suffocating.
But Halloween, like thinking like I'm going to open up a Halloween shop is kind of a different mindset in the early 80s. But he decided to do something completely bananas, put all the denim, packed it all up, all the dresses, and put it in a warehouse for a couple of months. Brought in a bunch of Halloween stuff just to give it a go. Well, you know what? It went. It went well. So, okay. Now the wheels are turning.
A nip in the air.
Yes. But the problem is Halloween is only like once a year. Like, Unfortunately.
Not if my bill passes.
What, you're working on legislation?
I have a few letters drafted, Congress.
To say what?
I think we should do Halloween 3 times a year.
Wow, try Halloween. Okay, well, I'm curious to see that. We'll post all your hard work on Instagram.
Yeah, I'll post a petition, change.org.
So the next year comes around. He's like, I'm going to give this Halloween thing another go. It's too much work to put all of my clothes in storage. I'm going to rent out a small little storefront, an abandoned place in the Castro Valley Mall in San Francisco. He does that. During the Halloween season, he sells $100,000 worth of stuff.
Wow. In
today's money, that's over $300,000. And it is 1983, and that's really the birth of Spirit Halloween. This is when he's all in on this idea. So this is his sole focus now. This is what his business is going to be. And what I found interesting when I was looking into this is like, you think of Spirit Halloween as a 2-3 month. Usually they start opening up at the end of August, and they literally close like November 2nd. Like as soon as Halloween's done, they're done. And to me, I was like, well, that's how long they work. It is a year-round thing. As soon as Halloween ends, they do inventory on what they have left over. By the end of the year, they have their buyers looking at like Hong Kong and all around the world for like kind of guessing what the trends are going to be next year. They look at like what
movies are going to be
coming out, and they start putting those orders in for the next year. January comes, they're already looking for the stores, like where they're going to be, because it's not that it's incredibly difficult to get these short-term leases, but it does take a lot of time, like anything that deals with like contracts. So it really is a business that just lasts all year long.
I would assume November 1st, he's on a flight to Cancun.
Yeah, and he's like Santa Claus. He like has one big day, then he goes surfing in Cancun.
Exactly.
He's so annoyed when he gets the text on like August 30th, like, hey, you got to open up Spirit. No, this guy's a hard worker. He actually, fun fact, wanted... Because the bulk of their employees, when I say that they have 40,000 employees, the bulk of those are obviously seasonal employees. A thing about their seasonal employees that I've learned is a lot of them just really love Halloween, or they don't need full-time jobs, or they're in transition between jobs, and it's just a fun place to work for a couple months. But early on, there was a couple years where he decided to just extend the leases that he had for a couple more months, and for a short time, there was Spirit Christmas.
Oh,
of course, a natural extension. For some reason, I couldn't find out why those weren't as successful as Halloween. I think his philosophy...
I've never seen a Spirit Christmas.
Well, this was, I think, in the 80s.
Too spooky.
Well, no, they don't sell the same.
I know, but it just feels spooky.
What? It's not like the ghost of Santa. It's just like a normal
spirits.
I guess
At Christmas. I guess Ghost of Christmas Past.
People very often use the word the spirit of Christmas.
I guess that sometimes is the context for the word spirit. Seems spooky.
I never thought about that. Halloween and Christmas both use spirit kind of differently.
Interesting. How can we use that to save money? I'll noodle around on that.
You think about that, and I'll continue with the episode.
I'm going to invest in a really expensive sign that says spirit, and it needs to last for Halloween and Christmas. So if anybody has any ideas.
So another interesting thing about the locations they get, they could be anything. There's one in New York that was like an old historic building that was built in like 1916. It used to be the American Express, like, headquarters, just this gorgeous building. It's like what Apple does when they'll move into like a historic thing and they figure out a way to make it work. One of the things about Spirit Halloween is what allows them to do what they're doing is the failure of other businesses.
Yeah.
So they need, like, when a lot of businesses,
They're like bugs that eat corpses.
yeah, like
Or
bugs
a vulture.
yeah, they're like parasites.
They thrive, yes, on
They
the deaths
thrive.
of others.
So, like, during the internet boom, when a lot of stores had to close down their brick and mortar stores for Spirit Halloween, that was a very successful time
I
because
bet.
they gave them more places to move into. And what I found interesting was it doesn't matter to them the size of the building they get. They can get a 15,000 square foot building in Ohio. They can get a 60,000 foot building in Texas.
Wow.
They will block it off so they don't have to use all of the space. But they have a standardization where they will block it off. And all the stores are kind of the same no matter how big they are.
Yes.
Just to give everybody the same amount of inventory. Like, I found it interesting
Interesting.
that, I don't know, for some reason I thought this was a business that there was no thought put into.
Yeah.
And it's so the opposite. It's like so much thought had to be put into how to make this work for them.
Yeah, that does make sense. Every time I've been in one, there is kind of like a false wall kind of situation.
Yeah.
'Cause that
it
Toys R
feels
Us is huge.
temporary. The whole
Yeah.
thing feels temporary.
I've never been in one that is not architecturally depressing. So it's interesting to imagine one in like a cool old building. In my mind, they all feel very much like Bed Bath & Beyond, like after a liquidation. It feels very post-liquidation.
Yeah.
Is kind of the vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds fun though.
Yeah, it's interesting to see how much thought he put into all of it. So Joe
He's
basically
a genius.
He spent basically the next 16 years figuring out this formula, figuring out how to make it successful. He got it up to the point when
Daddy, play catch with me. I'm trying to figure out how to.
go to bed, Pumpkin. Pumpkin Marver.
He named his son Pumpkin.
Well, I'm assuming because now he's so into Halloween.
Yeah.
What's he gonna? Or he calls him Bones. His nickname's Bones.
But the older sibling is named Denim.
Right.
Because they were born
came
during the
first.
denim
They were born in the
era.
70s. Or Jean. I mean, we could have just named her Jean.
Nope, Denim.
Nope, it's Denim. It's acid wash. Denim. So it's 1999.
Ooh, Y2K on the horizon.
Y2K
What would be
on the
safe?
horizon. Everyone's scared of their computers.
Talk about a fright.
Talk about a fright. Nothing scarier than what happened on January 1st, 2000.
Right?
Nothing. I don't know. I wasn't born yet. But
Gen Z.
so Joe has built up the company to 60 stores. He's figured out all the things you need to do for it. He has shown that the Halloween pop-up market is a viable thing. So now other companies come in wanting to buy it. Spencer's Gift steps into the picture.
Great place to get a naughty present.
Right? Like, did you used to go to Spencer's?
Oh, yeah. When you're 13, you're always nosing around at a Spencer's.
Like, there's something, when I read that, it really got me thinking about Spencer's again. And I loved going to Spencer's Gifts when I was young. There was something about it. It was like, it was kind of like your first experience, like in an adult store. Like, it would have stuff that you related to.
Yes.
Like, it would have Smurfs or like
Mario.
a
Yeah.
giant plastic ice cream
And then there's
cone.
also like a big butt plug or something.
Yeah, like there's
very
a big
bizarre.
butt plug and you kind of know what it's for, but you don't. There's like a whole like marijuana section and there's like sex things.
This is how innocent it was to be a kid pre-internet, that you would out of the corner of your eye see like a t-shirt that said like titty inspector, and you'd be like, oh my God.
Oh my God.
This is the Wild West.
That's a job. Where do I apply? God, I can't think of a side note. I can't think of anything worse than being a titty inspector.
That's not a good gig for you.
That's not a good
They
gig
couldn't
for me.
pay you enough to have you take that job.
Yeah. So Spencer Gifts comes in and they make an offer. Joe says, no, not enough. Spencer's like, screw you, Joe. They leave the table. They end up coming back the next year and saying, Joe, we'll do whatever you want, and end up buying the company.
Oh my God.
So now it's in the hands of
that.
Spencer's Gifts, which I also found out last night when I was looking into this. I did not know at the time Spencer's Gifts was owned by Universal Studios, which I found very interesting because I don't know if you're aware. Universal Studios is very well known for their portfolio of monsters. So they've got like Dracula and the Creature from the Black Lagoon and Invisible Man and Wolfman and all
Sounds
these
like
things.
some good licensing for costumes.
Exactly. Like I was like, wow, this is like such a makes sense. It's like such a natural fit.
Like, whereas at Spirit Halloween, it would be like Creature from the Brown Lagoon.
Well, we're not there yet. It's interesting you say that because Spencer is the one that brought that idea to Spirit Halloween. So they really embraced the whole Spirit Halloween just to kind of give you, I mean, I've already said the numbers. When they bought it in 1999, there were 60 stores. This year, there's going to be 1,500. So they have really taken it to the next level. And part of that is embracing the tongue-in-cheek costume bags.
That's
like
fine.
the disgruntled barista or the like gay guy with cats or like there's all these memes started to show up. There was a really funny one that's like the costume was a Spirit Halloween store, so like in the bag was just a banner that said Spirit Halloween.
That's fine.
It said you had to supply your own retail space for it or
That's
whatever.
fine.
But yeah, they kind of like, you know, didn't take it too seriously. And they also got it as we're moving into the internet world and like where things can become more viral and have these moments and these memes go viral and celebrities got on board with it. And then jumping forward, like people started like making YouTube videos of their shopping adventures there. And now there's TikToks of like
That's fine.
families like shooting their kids getting terrified by these animatronics. And it's like, it really did.
good
And those like,
It's good parenting.
yeah, there's a lot of questionable videos on TikTok about
Hey,
like,
if it goes viral, you know, you got to do it.
I really do think that's the mindset for a lot of those people. We got to get your kids out on camera.
I mean, I sent you a picture of my son laying on our cat, very cute. And you said you can't post that on the internet. People do not like children laying on animals.
people hate it. Like I will see a picture, like I'll like read it. I'll see a comment. It's like, that poor dog, like someone has to get this dog away. And then I'll watch the video and it's like a kid that'll like, just like do something like that. They're like, that's like pet trauma.
Child abuse. And now like the authorities are banging down the door and taking the child and the dog into custody.
People have lost their minds.
Yeah, TikTok isn't safe.
So all of those things combined, like Spencer just got it at a good time. I'm sure they paid like a ton of money for it. They were just kind of able to turn it into like what it is now. And it's just like this huge conglomerate. I don't know if you know this, but there is have you ever heard of the Zombie Tech Squad?
No.
This is very similar to, you know how Butterball Turkey has like on Thanksgiving Day, there's a hotline.
A turkey
you can
hotline?
call.
Yeah.
So they've got the Zombie Tech Squad
Okay.
at Spirit Halloween where you can call them with questions about your costume, issues you're having with your animatronic. It's like a team of people there to help you. I will say I had a question for Spirit that I wanted answered today and called them.
And?
Wait time 50 minutes to an hour and 14 minutes.
That does feel like there's like 9 people working there.
I do feel
It's
like
more
there's
like
like
the
9.
idea that you have that support, but in actuality, like how much support? Because you have a problem with your costume. What would that even be? My zipper's stuck. Come to my house and help me.
You know what it reminds me of? It's like, and we've joked about this before, like when people would write into Parade magazine.
Yes.
And they're like, Parade, I'm going to a movie on a first date next Thursday and can't figure out what
to wear.
what to wear. Like, it's just such a weird question to ask, like, the company.
To ask, to call somebody to ask.
But
I like that it exists, though.
to what you said earlier, if you're buying like a $500 animatronic from them and it's not working correctly, I would like to know that there's someone I could call.
It's a hotline to yell at someone, is what it seems like.
And you know that I, of all people, appreciate that.
Yes. Every company should have a dedicated anger hotline for people just to be screamed at.
Yeah. Now, I can't say that Spirit Halloween has existed without any controversies.
Uh-oh.
I know. They did get a little pushback in 2006.
From the devil? Too much devil?
The devil's pissed. How dare you? I get 10%. I don't even know what they did. It didn't say, but I guess they were getting some pushback on racial appropriation of Native Americans.
Oh, yeah.
And then in 2021, I guess they caused a Twitter outrage. Of course they did, for having a Karen costume.
Oh.
So it seems very... I wonder who was up in arms about the Karen costume.
I know. You're kind of outing yourself as a bit of a Karen.
No, I'm not a Karen, but I have to say, I am never shopping here again.
Is it like the side parted hair?
It is a wig. Yeah, it's
The
like
wig.
what? It's like a Karen wig, and
I mean, you're the closest I have in my life to a Karen.
I'm not a Karen. I'm not. I know the difference.
Have you ever asked to speak to a manager? Because I think that is like the Karen line. That's
just because you asked to speak to a man. I don't. I'm trying to think. That's not usually my go-to. I usually try to deal with that person.
I mean, well, yeah, but like, remember when your food like had lettuce on it or something, and you like called and demanded like a free something?
Demanded?
That's.
Did I order it without lettuce? Did I order it without lettuce? That's the question here.
Yes, you ordered it without lettuce.
So I ordered it without lettuce. The business dismissed me, brought it with lettuce, and
lied to you about it.
Lied to me about it. And I'm supposed to just eat lettuce.
What about the mild sauce?
Okay. If you go...
I don't think this has been on pod yet.
to Taco Bell, there's a couple things you can expect. One of them being your choice of sauces.
Of course.
Would you like hot sauce with that? No, could I get 2 mild sauce? That's usually how my exchange goes. The Taco Bell in Western. I went there once. They were like, oh, we're out of mild sauce. I didn't get mad that time. Inside, I was sad. I didn't get mad. I go back the next time.
Sad.
I was sad. I like my sauce. I am a creature of habit. I
love that mild sauce.
The mild sauce is great.
Need it.
I go again. And it wasn't like I went later that day. It wasn't like I went the next day. It was like a month later. I go again. Oh, I'm sorry, we're out of mild sauce. Maybe I flip out a little. Maybe I don't understand that. Maybe I say, like, hey, are you not able to order it? Like, do you need, like, can I walk you through the process? Like, do I need to make a call? Did I get irrationally upset? Yes.
This is very much.
Was I a Karen for a minute? Yes. But so justifiably a Karen. Now, you know what? I just buy my own Taco Bell mild sauce. That should have been available all the time. Now you can just buy a bottle of it at the store.
Thank God. I love having a bottle of mild sauce.
I love having a bottle of mild sauce, too. I'm sure the people at Taco Bell are also very
They're
happy
glad that you have mild sauce also.
that I don't have to rely on them anymore. 2007. Spirit Halloween decides... they're going to give back to the community. This is actually great.
It's about time.
It's about time. You're making tons of money on plastic shit that nobody really needs. No, they create the Spirit of Children. And this is a charity where they work in conjunction with a handful of hospitals. At the time, I believe it was 15, and they raise money
to make these patients' rooms as freaky as possible.
to turn every child's room into
a house of horrors.
A coven, paint all the walls black, just scare them to death. No, they actually put...
Hopefully not literally.
Not literally. I actually remember this when I bought my Barb costume. There was a thing, do I want to give money to Children's Hospital? And I said yes, and I gave money. Even though now I do have different viewpoints on giving charity to stores. I've been told not to do it because they're just getting a tax write-off on it, but we don't want to get political, but that's where I stand now. But they do give 100% of the profits to the charity. Last year, they were on track to reach $100 million in charity from when they began in 2007.
Great.
They used the money not only to help kids like be able to enjoy the spirit of Halloween by giving them costumes and gifts and all that, but they also put together like art classes and do a lot of really good things. It seems like a very like nice thing.
So you can feel good about giving your dollars to Spirit Halloween. Yeah, they're doing some good out there.
So that's the bulk of what I have of like the overall of Spirit Halloween. There are some fun facts that I would like to share with you that I think
love to
people
hear a
find
fun
interesting. I like to give people little nuggets that they can throw at a party. Hey, did you know that Spirit Halloween has correctly predicted every presidential election since 1996? Based on which costumes sold the most.
Oh, wow. That's really fun. That's a good fun fact to use while you're feeling a bowl of peeled grapes at a Halloween party.
Yeah, I thought that was crazy.
That is crazy. So then people are more likely to buy a costume for the candidate that they're planning on supporting. So
apparently, they said they've been undefeated since 1996.
Hey, follow their prediction and take it to Vegas.
Yeah, we're not a political show, but I will definitely have my eye on Spirit next year. This time next year, I'll just be sweating.
That's
in the
the
Spirit
only
Halloween
news I
store.
follow is the Spirit Halloween costume tracker.
They're like, we only update the website every 4 months. So I thought that was fun. There is also a Spirit Halloween Monopoly game that you can get, of course, because Monopoly sneaks in everywhere. Instead of properties, you buy areas of the store, which I thought was kind of fun. Instead of railroads, you buy vacant storefronts. Like they've really tailored it to.
Fun.
You have your game pieces are a Jack Reaper, which is their mascot, a coffin, a zombie cat, and on and on.
Cute.
So I thought that was a lot of fun.
So you can use that fun fact while you have your hand in a bowl of spaghetti.
Right. Now, the grapes are testicles.
Eyeballs.
Oh, eyeballs.
Those are tiny testicles.
And the spaghetti is wieners.
You need to see a doctor.
So that's kind of what I have on Spirit Halloween. I thought it'd be fun to kind of maybe wrap up this episode talking about Halloween in general. We're headed into the month. I love Halloween. I know people get all excited about it just like they do pumpkin spice latte. There's just something about this time of year that people just really love. Something that Joe Marver, the pumpkin carver, said that I thought was interesting was that Halloween is kind of the only holiday where you buy stuff for yourself. Like you're not buying it. And that's maybe why there's larger percentages of money spent, because you're investing in a costume, you're investing in home decor and things like that. But it's really one of the only times that you're actually...
It's adults spending money on themselves and their kids too, I guess. But yeah, there's no gift. That's what's fun about it. It's not a gift holiday.
No. I mean, there's the candy that you give to trick-or-treaters.
Yeah, but that doesn't... It's not like Valentine's Day or Christmas or Easter even.
Right.
That's fun.
Yeah. And I was looking at a breakdown from like a Halloween breakdown company, and the amount of money...
Halloween breakdown company.
There's companies for everything, like statistics, so that places like this can look at them and see like trends and stuff. And I guess probably because of price, but the amount spent on adult costumes was always larger than the amount spent on children's costumes.
Oh, more fabric.
And I don't know if that was, because the costumes are actually just more expensive,
Twice
or
as big.
People are going in, buy more parents. I can't imagine more. I don't know if more adults would be getting dressed for Halloween.
I'm seeing a lot more. I would say the trend now that was definitely not a thing when I was a kid is the family costume. Like I know multiple families that I know that they're all dressing up as like Ninja Turtles, or they're all doing Toy Story. There's like a lot of family costumes now. I'm imagining my dad in the 80s getting roped into a family Halloween costume. It just would never happen. 80s dads were not...
no way my dad would do that.
Putting on a big inflatable dinosaur suit. It was just never in a million years.
Yeah, my dad would never do that either. I do remember when we were kids, we were talking about, there was definitely a few years where we got like the bag that had like the plastic mask and like a really thin plastic costume. And one year, my siblings and I went as Kiss. My mom got like the whole band of Kiss. So like we all had like a Kiss mask. And that. And there was also another year where I just decided I wanted to go as a woman. I can't imagine why. So I was like, I'm going as a woman. And I made my own wig. And I took, do you remember, that ribbon where you like run scissor
curling ribbon. Yeah.
I made an entire curly wig doing that.
Oh, wow.
That was the seed of one, me being a big homo, and two, making my own Halloween costumes.
I love that you weren't going as like a famous woman, just a woman.
Just a woman. I just want to be a woman. Yeah, that is kind of weird because when I was young, whenever I would play by myself, I would either play as Wonder Woman and I would put a jump rope on my belt, or Obi-Wan Kenobi and I'd wear my brown hoodie and put the hood up. Like those are my two go-to characters.
It wasn't like Obi-Wan's mom.
So now Halloween sales are back to pre-pandemic levels. 2020
Of course.
took a big dip. Everyone had to come up with creative ways. Spirit Halloween made like a reaching poll so you could give out candy
that's
safely.
depressing.
Like everyone was doing what they could, but now everything's
That's going to be like in a museum in like 100 years. The
100%.
Halloween reaching poll from 2020. The trick or treat poll. Oh, yikes.
Yeah, that
Good
is
riddance
true.
to that.
That's true. Okay, so what I thought would be fun is I have a list of, this is from 2022, because that's the most recent data from my Halloween data place, of most
Do
popular...
you work at this company now?
No, this is just the kind of research I do. I don't know if you know I have an Emmy for research. I don't like to bring that up, but...
It should really be behind you on all of our
What?
videos.
I
You
wouldn't
should
mind
bring
that.
it.
I do like to put it in the back of Zoom sometimes.
If anybody's questioning your judgment, you just slide to the side and to reveal the Emmy.
Okay, 2022. Do you have a guess of what nationwide the most popular Halloween costume was?
I feel like Mario had a big year. Mario has kind of been on my children's lips. They don't even know Mario from a video game. They just saw a figurine of Mario, and now both of them talk about Mario constantly.
Wow, that's good branding.
It's good branding.
Colors and yeah, I could see that. The shape.
Is it a superhero?
No,
It's not Mario.
it's not Mario.
Is it Barbie?
Nope.
I guess that's this year. Oh, I don't know. What is it?
A witch. Just a witch.
Just a generic witch?
Just a witch.
Wow.
Number 2 is Spider-Man. Number 1, a witch.
You know what? My 2-year-old son has been saying for months that he wants to be a witch for Halloween.
Really?
Yeah.
It's something about it. I guess it's just so classic.
Yeah, he saw a cackling witch decoration at Costco, which, as I mentioned on a previous episode, Costco's been all Christmas now for 3 weeks. Halloween decorations were only there for like 2 days.
Yeah.
And one of the decorations was like a 20-foot high cackling witch.
And they sold out of those.
They sold out of
instantly.
it immediately. It's like $250. People are spending a lot of money on these animatronics. And the animatronics are good. They're like 1950s Disneyland quality.
Wow.
And you can just have them in your house.
That's cool.
Yeah, so
I guess. But where do you store something like that?
People might have bigger garages here in other places than LA.
Oh,
Our garage can fit like a traffic cone.
that's true.
Do you want to be a witch for Halloween? Do you feel like you've got witch fever?
I don't know. I would always feel like that's too like pedestrian. I would. No offense to.
Says the man dressed as a
We just-
skeleton.
This is just for the pod. I got this at Old Navy. Okay, let's see if you can guess what they listed out. What is the most popular costume by state?
Okay.
All right, let's see if you can get any of these right. Most popular costume in Missouri.
A piece of corn. Corn on the cob.
No, it was a witch.
Okay.
Number 1 costume in Colorado.
A big sky.
No, it's a witch.
They're all witches?
They are not.
Okay.
Number 1 costume in Ohio.
A witch?
No, a dinosaur. Just a generic dinosaur.
That's funny. Like, people aren't wanting the licensed costumes. They just want to be like animals or characters from lore, from myth.
What about...
This tells me that the next big movie should be about a witch and a dinosaur.
Oh, I like
Prehistoric witch.
that. I like that.
Okay.
Okay. We'll talk off pod.
Yeah, we're not afraid to dig into the stats.
No. Oh, this is an interesting one. Washington.
Abraham Lincoln.
A witch. It's a witch. Do you remember how at the beginning of this I said the most popular costume was a witch? 13 in the States, it's witch.
I'm shocked. What's the weirdest one on this list? Is there any like super strange?
There's several Stranger Things.
Oh, still?
Yeah. That thing's never going away.
Well,
You know, they're all, okay, so they're all fairy, witch, Spider-Man, dinosaur. There's a few rabbits. I don't know what that even means. Like Hawaii, it's rabbit. And then Minnesota, number 1 costume, the Renaissance. What is that?
What?
Just
the time period?
The time period, the Renaissance.
The era?
Yes. And then for Mississippi and Vermont, the 80s. Just if it's not like a witch or a rabbit, it's a time period.
Okay, so this is fleshing out the movie a little bit more.
Okay.
It's a time travel movie. It starts in the 80s, and then it goes...
They get on a magic rabbit.
They
go back
to dinosaur times, to witch times, Renaissance
it's a
times.
trilogy.
It's a trilogy.
Got it.
Okay.
That'll be
the wheels
good.
are turning.
We need the strike to end so we can get out there.
Mama's got to make some money.
Mama's got to make some money. Well, I think that is all I really have. Oh, one last fun fact. 39.55% of all of our Halloween pumpkins come from one state.
What state?
Illinois.
Wow, the pumpkin capital of the world.
You should see the graph. It's like little Illinois. All the pumpkins.
Is
all
the
right.
climate there perfect for growing a pumpkin?
Apparently.
One time, our producer Alistair, they threw a pumpkin on their compost heap, and then a big pumpkin patch grew.
I've heard about that.
Isn't that right, Al?
Yeah, because all those seeds, they grow really easily.
So you could start your own, but you could rival Illinois. Start your own pumpkin patch.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you grow pumpkins, if you're a listener that grows pumpkins or carves pumpkins, I'd love to see pictures of those.
If you have a costume you bought at Spirit Halloween, we would love to see a picture of your costume.
Absolutely. We love all the engagement we're getting from everybody. That's a lot of fun for me.
And if you like to listen to the show, but you also want to see some of the show, you can go to our Instagram page at OnBrandThePod, and you can see video clips from the show.
Oh, yeah. If you would like to have Alistair Photoshop a picture of you with my signed Adele record, just send us a clear photograph of you like this, and we'll put that in.
God, I can't wait to see that video for signing your record.
Gosh.
This has been a really emotional roller coaster, and it's definitely leaving me in the spirit
of Christmas.
Of Christmas.
Well, I'm glad. I am so excited to go get out of this sweaty skeleton costume.
And into your Halloween costume. A witch.
A witch. Well, thank you so much. This has been great.
Yeah, as always, if you like the pod, subscribe, rate, review, tell your friends. If you have a comment or a brand you would like us to talk about, go to Apple Podcasts and you can leave us a note there. We would love to hear from you guys. And we'll be back next week with an all new brand.
Is it a surprise or are you going to tell me?
It's a surprise.
I can't wait. Bye, everybody. Thanks so much.
See ya.